Welcome back. You're watching Politics Today, reaching you live on Channels Television from Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. While the discussion continues and on the Ekiti elections which held in 2014 and the revelations that have been emerging. Well, with me in the studio is Mr. Libros Oshoma. Mr. Oshoma, if the cases lead to the courts, you know, you talked about investigations and the anti-graft agency should look into this matter. Definitely, there will be court cases.
Yeah.
You know, how do you think this development will pan out with all the allegations, especially for the People's Democratic Party and the sitting governor, in as much as he has immunity?
Like they say, you need to look at these issues broadly. First, there are so many angles to it. Also, funding for political parties. Also, the revelation here also revealed, you know, how funds were spent. And also INEC, that 1 billion naira was given to INEC. These are things you cannot just close your eyes to. That the security operatives also were involved in this. That they had special people with a special badge. And if you also remember the revelation of Captain Kohli, you know, this is further corroborating what Captain Kohli had said. And if you, in investigating the matter, in the event that there is prosecution, also, mind you, the former president's name also was mentioned, that he did give money. Where did this money come from? Was it from the party? And he said he went to NMPC to collect this fund. If this money was collected from the national purse, you know, and used to prosecute election, all of this, and who released such fund? You know, it's a whole lot, just like the Ekitigate. You know, you're still going, this is the beginning. And so PDP and its officials, including the former president, might be invited.
And
even though,
actually mentioned.
Yes, even though what is currently going on now, EFCC will tell us that there is no memo from the office of the former president to that effect, that these were mere allegations. If they were mere allegations, why are you now inviting people? On what basis are you inviting people? If you cannot also, we're not saying arrest the former president, but he needs to clear the air on issues like this, that he did release funds to a political party for an election, and that the army were used, the police were used as a special, it's a whole lot. And we cannot allow this to go. If you allow it to go, because some people are also saying, oh, Dr. Aluko is just a tool. If you allow it to go, including allowing Dr. Aluko to go, it means that someday somebody else will do this on the basis that once you are promised something, we can connive and manipulate the process.
Okay, interestingly, just a moment there. Interestingly, you know, you say focus shouldn't be on perjury, but I want to take us back to the issue of perjury. Can Dr. Aluko be seen as a credible witness against the people whom he mentioned, especially in the case where he swore under oath and he's given conflicting testimonies, one on live television, one in the courts? We're not talking about which is right now, but conflicting testimonies. Exactly.
That is why you cannot just now sit down and rely on the fact that, oh, because your Dr. Aluko, testimony cannot be relied on because he has given conflicting testimony. So on the basis of that, we should just close our eyes to all of these issues. What we are saying is there is need for the agencies statutorily responsible to do this, to look into the matter and find out if Dr. Aluko is actually telling the truth, or that what he said in court was the true position.
Okay, but don't you think he should get some kind of amnesty if he decided to come on national TV to purge himself? And should he be facing challenges with the judiciary since he's the one who blew the whistle?
That is left to the prosecution. The question is, Dr. Aluko did not purge himself. Dr. Aluko did not just sit down and say, look, I feel so bad that I did this. He had grievances with the governor on the basis of how they would share the loot. He was promised, he said he was promised, they had an arrangement, they even sworn on oath. But that the governor, you know, breached that agreement. On the basis of that, that is why he's now coming out to say this was what transpired.
But don't
and
you
so
think that
it depends on the prosecuting officer to say, okay, look, this is my star witness. If you give me all the information I need, I will not, press charges against you. I just need to catch the big thieves. It depends on the prosecuting officer. But I know that it's not as easy as that to say, okay, look, this man has purged himself, so let's forgive him. But
don't you think this would deter some other people
from coming out,
especially with the president's anti-corruption fight, from coming out to state their cases? As
no, not at all. Not at all. Because basically, there are two. We need to look at these issues differently. There is a difference between somebody who feels bad to say, look, I like what Mr. President is doing, or I like the fact that I'm now born again. Permit me to use that word. And so I want to purge myself of what I have done before. Against somebody who feels, look, I've been shortchanged. And because I've been shortchanged, and this man cannot enjoy this loot alone. So, because I don't want him to enjoy the loot alone, there's need for me to come out now and speak of what actually transpired. That is what is happening here. And so that is why Nigerians are praying that, like you say in Christendom, let there be confusion in their camp. The moment there is confusion in their camp, you continue to hear revelations like this. And so those that stole our collective mandate will come out, and then one day Nigerians will be the happier for it. So it's not a question of deterring people from speaking the truth. And then if our security forces are up and doing, you really don't need somebody to wait to purge himself, because the law will catch up with them. As at the time the law catches up with you, you will have no other option but to sing. If the security forces were investigating this, and then Dr. Aluko comes to say, look, since you are investigating, I want to volunteer information to you because I want to purge myself. They probably would have used that to say, okay, if you give us this information, we can use that as a bargaining tool.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Shoma. Well, hearing is still ongoing at the Supreme Court over the Abia State and Akwa Ibom State governorship elections. The judges have retired as we speak to decide on these cases. Well, let's take a look at the contenders in those states, the incumbent governors and their opponents, and how the electorate actually went out. Well, as you can see on the screen there for Abia State, we have Okezie Ikpeazu, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, and his closest opponent, Alex Oti. Well, the total votes that garnered by the PDP candidate Okezie Ikpeazu was 264,713 votes against 180,882 votes polled by his contender Alex Oti of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. And in Akwa Ibom State, we have on the screen Umana of the All Progressives Congress and Udom Emmanuel of the People's Democratic Party. Those are the two contenders in that state during the April 11, 2015 elections. And Udom Emmanuel of the People's Democratic Party scored 996,071 votes, while the All Progressives Congress candidate polled 89,865 votes. As you can see, the total number of registered voters in that state is 1,548,531. And the total number of accredited voters came to 1,158,624. While the total valid votes cast on the day of election was 1,110,580 votes, and the voided votes came to 12,256. Total votes cast 1,122,836 in Akwa Ibom State. Well, the Supreme Court judges have retired to give ruling on these cases, which is pending before them, the Akwa Ibom State and Abia State governorship elections. Well, we'll keep you posted on Channels Television as events unfold shortly. Well, the program has been Politics Today. It's Politics Today. And we've been talking about the Ekiti elections. And with me in the studio has been Mr. Libros Oshoma. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
For sharing your point of view. It's always a pleasure having you.
Same here.
Well, The program continues tomorrow, 7 to 7:30 p.m. Very many thanks for watching. I'm Imana Amawe.